Greetings from the battlefield. I was talking to Jeff about this game, or actually maybe I was talking to Michael about it. I can't remember. Oh no, I was talking to Jessica and Alex. This is Total War Empire. After Michael got me the Universal Battle Simulator, I just was trolling around. I thought, I need something with more that I can actually have a little bit more control over what people are doing, other than just having a giant mass brawl, which is also really fun. But so I came across the Total War series, and this is one of the first battles, and I saved this battle. It's called "What the Fuck? How Did I Win This?" So we have the Continental Army versus the British. Here's my general, and here are his forces. I'll go up in the air a little bit. So. I got some cavalry over here on the left flank, and then I got some artillery back here being protected by some infantry, and I got some more infantry out in the front, and I got more cavalry over here on the right flank. Excuse me, pardon my COVID-19. And then I've got more artillery over here. And they are facing the Redcoats. A whole lot of Redcoats. And so, I was just learning how to do strategy and stuff on this thing, and I was like, I played a few battles, and I could see how things worked and how things didn't work. So my strategy was my left or my right flank cavalry is going to charge like bats out of hell up here and take out their artillery wherever that happens to be. That was the plan. So we'll see. So here goes and you can already see that these guys have a totally different strategy. But the artillery is setting up, so their horse artillery is getting ready. These guys, they've got some other idea. And they're leaving to go over to their right. Meanwhile, here are my cavalry guys, hell-bent for leather, trying to do the, trying to basically take out these guys. Then I guess the British general, he saw what was going on, so he thought, I better have some cavalry, over here, getting ready because there's an off. And then these guys, for some stupid ass reason, these guys take on this infantry regiment. Why are you doing that? Don't do that. So now I just got one regiment of horse going after these guys, and now of course they're, Meanwhile, on mine, I've got these terrifying guys riding over to my side. I've got these cavalry stationed down here, not doing anything yet. Now they're gonna, and they decide, well, they're gonna go over here and have a cavalry engagement here, and so my three regiments of horse are breaking up the British attack on my left. Meanwhile, these are British guys, and they are booking it, man. They are running. These guys, they're not doing anything yet. Well, okay, so now my guys, now they're going to. I don't know why they're going that direction, but they are. And this infantry regiment is now advancing. But the British are like, they're hauling ass, whereas my guys are like, oh, what are we doing? I don't know what we're doing. Who's in charge of this army anyway? Now these guys, they are doing their best. They're being accurate. My command guys are still standing there waiting. That's fine. Into the breach, man. Now, these guys, they've tried to set up this enfilade fire zone so these guys can shoot here and shoot here. I thought that was a good idea. Unfortunately, they're left their flank totally exposed to these guys here that are, you know, ramming their ramrods and getting ready to shoot again into my... And these guys, another regiment's... They're now... now where they're going. Oh, yes. So now these guys are... They're going after my command guys. So now they're attacking my general. These guys, meanwhile, I think they thought they were going to be attacked by cavalry, so they formed square. But they're... Oh, God. All right, so now they're saying... Now that's like, oh my gosh, they're being attacked. They're being charged. Bayonet charged by the British. And now they're being surrounded. Anyway, again, this battle's called What the Fuck? How did I win this? So my cavalry that was over there, they're all gone. They've headed for the hills. So I have no cavalry. Now my general guys, they were able to drive off this cavalry regiment, which is good. So they're gone too. But if you look at the number of Union Jacks versus the little Betsy Ross flags, there's a lot more Union Jacks with a lot more guys than what I got. And once your units flee the field, unless they're encountered by a general, they basically are gone. So over on my right, it's basically okay. The British haven't really engaged my right very much. So I have the upper hand here. At least I think I do. So I've got these two regiments of infantry, and they're going after, you know. But what are they doing? I don't know what they're doing. They're standing there. Oh, they're firing at will. These guys are forgetting about it. They're going over here to help support these guys because they assume that this one regiment can take on this one regiment here, and they're probably right. So, well, now the general staff is surrendering. It's running away. The general is now running away. Retreat. You can hear him say it. And now we have what's left of my one infantry regiment just being annihilated by well, two infantry regiments about ready to be overrun by the British. So I've got one infantry. I got some artillery. And these guys are running away. And at this point, I'm thinking I'm going to lose this battle. Now these guys have some interesting lines going on here. And you can see here, you can hover over a regiment and say confident, fresh, concerned, exposed flank, and then these guys are like shattered, very tired. These guys over here, they're confident. Oh, they're tired but confident. But these guys, now they're charging in, and you think this is the last stand. Judging by the number of Union Jacks and the number of Betsy Ross infantry, you would think this would be it. This would be it. How could the Continentals possibly pull off a victory? Well, this one Continental regiment has actually routed these guys, and they're running away here, which is good. So they're probably, what they're going to do is they're going to form ranks again. And the general has now recovered himself, and he is coming back in to attack, probably suicidally, actually, this one regiment of redcoats. And yep, the general is dead. But they did stop that attack, which allowed these guys to break up. So now we have 3 regiments of we have 3 regiments of Continentals left, and these guys have got these other infantry regiments for the British. Actually, they're running, which is awesome. But they've still got their flank exposed. But these guys, at the very least, have formed ranks, and they're preventing these guys from hitting these guys on the end. So now that and my artillery is really saving the day. I think in hindsight, what's winning this battle is the artillery, because the artillery, my right flank artillery can zoom in now on this group and suppress them, and there they go, which allowed these. But they're running. Oh my gosh, they're running. And behind, we have an entire regiment of Hessian infantry attacking from the rear. Again, so do I win this? Even now, it's hard for me to believe that I'm going to win this battle. But this regiment here is now been routed. So these guys are now forming ranks, and how did I win this? How did the Americans do it? So they attacked there. I think what it amounted to is these guys came up here. They're broken, they're tired, tired. These guys are steady, fresh, concerned, friends routing. But this one group decided to change. So they built themselves up, steady, active, concerned, casualty sustaining. So we convinced one group of Continental Regiment in infantry to go back into the fight. So here they are. They're going after 3 regiment. One regiment taking on 3. And on the double time. And then these guys, what happened to these guys? So these guys, they're charging back into the fight as well. And I mean, the Continentals are also taking sustained artillery fire because there's still at least one. Yeah, there's one unit of 3-pound horse artillery. But look at that. The Americans are actually forcing these. It was a damn close running thing, like the Duke of Wellington said about the Battle of Waterloo. Jesus, that was close. That was close. So now there's only one group of, this was the last group of British regulars that have, and they're just light infantry. So and they've got them on the run. So now the only unit that's left on the battlefield that hasn't run, as far as the English are concerned, is this one group of horse artillery way over here, and they should be, well, they're steady, but they got to be concerned. They're under artillery attack, and there's no friends. So, and since they're under artillery attack, and they've got 2 small regiments of light infantry going to attack them. So I'll speed it up a little bit. I can speed up because it's just there we go. And they march across the field. And again, the British are trying to do what they can to take pot shots, but it just doesn't really work. And there's just no way these guys can even if they use canister shot, there's just no way, and they flee, and that is the end. That's the end. So, so how did we win this thing? I think the battle was lost by the British really early. I'm not saying how did I win it, but I've actually watched this thing several times, and I think the English lost the battle very early on when they did that big 2-regiment cavalry charge across what would be their right flank, and I hit them on the end with my 2 regiments of horse. Even though those 2 regiments were destroyed, it broke this whole thing up. And mine, even though my, even though, well,